Hello everyone, and welcome. I'm excited to kick off today's presentation on analyzing diverse educational approaches across key African nations. On this first slide, you see the title, Comparative Education Systems in Africa, Egypt, Botswana, and South Africa. Over the next few slides, we'll explore how these countries' education systems differ and what we can learn from them. So let's get started and dive into this fascinating topic together. Today, I want to take a closer look at the education system in Egypt. As you can see, this slide provides a brief overview, but there's a lot to unpack here. The Egyptian education system has a long history and has undergone many reforms over the years. It plays a crucial role in shaping the country's future by preparing the next generation of leaders, professionals, and innovators. We'll explore how the system is structured, the challenges it faces, and the opportunities for growth and improvement. Understanding these key points helps us see how education influences broader societal development and economic progress in Egypt. So, as we go through this, keep in mind how these elements connect to the overall themes of development, modernization, and the pursuit of a more equitable society. Let's take a closer look at the structure of Egypt's education system. It's divided into three main stages: basic education, secondary education, and higher education, all under centralized governance. This means that the government plays a key role in overseeing and managing each level to ensure consistency and standards across the country. Now, an important aspect of the system is its exam-driven culture. High-stakes exams, like the Thanawaya Amma, are crucial because they determine which university students can attend. This creates a lot of pressure on students and families alike, and it also drives the demand for private tutoring as students prepare intensively to succeed. When we look at higher education, public universities are largely state-subsidized, which makes them more accessible financially. However, they face significant challenges. Overcrowding and stretched resources are common issues, which can impact the quality of education that students receive. Finally, despite high enrollment rates, disparities still exist between urban and rural areas. Access to quality education and resources can vary greatly depending on where you are, leading to ongoing issues of inequality within the system. Overall, this slide highlights the interconnected challenges and structures that shape Egypt's educational landscape today. Let's delve into some key aspects of Egypt's education system. First, compulsory public education. Egypt mandates 9 years of free public education, which is a crucial step in ensuring that all children have access to learning. However, despite this commitment, there are ongoing challenges such as overcrowding in schools and shortages of resources, which can impact the quality of education students receive. Moving on to private schools, these institutions are quite diverse in Egypt. They offer a range of curricula, including national, language, religious, and international programs. Typically, private schools tend to serve wealthier families, providing options that might not be available within the public system. A significant event in recent history was the 2011 student boycott. Students protested against the poor quality of education and issues of inequality within the system. This movement didn't just focus on education. It sparked broader demands for social justice and political reform across the country. All these points highlight the complex landscape of education in Egypt, illustrating efforts to improve access while grappling with systemic challenges and social movements pushing for change. Let's take a closer look at the education system in Botswana. As we explore this, you'll notice that Botswana has made significant strides in developing its educational infrastructure. The government has prioritized access to quality education, aiming to create opportunities for all children, regardless of their background. The system emphasizes not only literacy and numeracy skills, but also values like critical thinking and problem-solving, which are essential for the country's future growth. You'll also see that there are various levels of education, from primary to secondary and tertiary, each designed to build on the previous one. This focus on education ties back to our overall theme of development and progress. A strong education system is fundamental to empowering individuals and fostering national advancement. So, understanding the structure and priorities of Botswana's education system helps us appreciate the broader picture of how the country is working toward a sustainable and inclusive future. Botswana has a strong public education system, and the country invests quite heavily in education to make sure that everyone has access to learning opportunities from pre-primary all the way through tertiary levels. This focus on universal access helps ensure that no one is left behind, regardless of where they come from. When it comes to the curriculum and language instruction, Botswana emphasizes core skills like literacy and numeracy, alongside science and social studies. The curriculum also promotes important national values that help shape a cohesive society. English is used as the main language of instruction, which supports communication and integration in both local and international contexts. In urban areas, private schools offer more diverse options, including international curricula such as Cambridge and IGCSE. However, access to these private and international schools can be limited because of high fees, making them less accessible to many families. To address issues of quality and equity, Botswana invests in teacher training and curriculum development. These efforts help improve the overall quality of education and work towards reducing regional disparities. The goal is to create a fair and high-quality education system that serves all students equally. Overall, Botswana's education system is designed to be inclusive, high-quality, and aligned with national values, while also offering opportunities for international standards where possible. Let's take a closer look at the education system in South Africa. This slide highlights some key aspects that are crucial to understanding how education functions in the country. South Africa's education system has a complex history, shaped by its social and political changes over the years. Today, it aims to provide accessible education to all, but it still faces challenges like inequality and resource disparities. The system is divided into various levels, starting with primary education, followed by secondary education, and then higher education at universities and colleges. One important point to remember is that access and quality can vary significantly depending on the region and socioeconomic background. Understanding these dynamics is vital because education plays a fundamental role in shaping the country's future, promoting equality, and fostering development. As we connect this to our overall theme, keep in mind that improving education is essential for addressing many of the broader issues we've discussed so far. Let's take a closer look at the complex mixed education model in South Africa. The country's education system is quite diverse, encompassing both public and private schools. These schools are governed by a mix of national and provincial departments, which helps coordinate policies and ensure standards across different regions. A key focus within this system is on equity and access. After the apartheid era, significant reforms were introduced to address historical inequalities. The goal has been to create a more equitable system that allows disadvantaged communities to access quality education, helping to bridge the gaps that existed in the past. When we talk about the structure, South Africa offers education from early childhood all the way through higher education. Education is compulsory up to grade 9, which is a major step toward ensuring all children complete at least a basic level of schooling. Plus, enrollment rates are steadily increasing, indicating that more students are staying in school longer. However, despite these efforts, challenges remain. Persistent inequalities still affect many areas, and infrastructure issues, such as outdated or insufficient facilities, continue to hinder progress. Additionally, learning outcomes are often below expectations, which impacts the overall performance of the education system. So, as we see, South Africa's education system is a complex but evolving landscape. It reflects ongoing efforts to make education more equitable and accessible, while also facing significant hurdles that need continual attention. Now, let's move on to our final content slide, which focuses on comparative analysis and conclusions. Here, we'll synthesize the key insights from our discussion. First, it's important to highlight the main points of comparison we explored, such as the strengths and weaknesses of each approach. This helps us understand which methods are most effective under different circumstances. Connecting these points back to our overall theme, remember that the goal was to identify the best strategies for achieving our objectives. By analyzing the data critically, we can make informed decisions moving forward. In summary, this comparative analysis not only clarifies the options available, but also guides us toward the most practical solutions. It's about leveraging these insights to optimize our efforts and drive better results. Today, I want to highlight our shared commitment to education among Egypt, Botswana, and South Africa. All three countries see education as a vital responsibility of the state, and they have built large public sectors to support national development through education. However, despite this common ground, they face similar inequality challenges. Socioeconomic disparities are a significant barrier, especially in Egypt and South Africa, where these gaps limit equal access to quality learning opportunities. When we look at their distinct national characteristics, we see different approaches. Egypt has a highly centralized, exam-driven system that emphasizes standardized testing. Botswana, on the other hand, prioritizes stability and aims to align its education system closely with national goals. South Africa is more focused on reform and inclusivity, striving to create a more equitable educational environment. Speaking of progressiveness, South Africa is leading the way with policies that focus on equity and students' rights. But it's important to remember that all three countries still face ongoing challenges in achieving their educational goals. In essence, while they share core values and face some common issues, each country's unique context shapes its approach to education reform and development.